Today I'm going to show you how to build a 3x3 Revolution pop-up display stand. Over here we have the wheeled transport case. Next to it we have a fabric graphic. Further along, 4 small channel bars, next to them a series of longer channel bars. Here we have the stand itself, and finally we have 2 stabilizer feet. Now I'm going to explain the frame to you. The point that we really need to understand is that the bottom is indicated by the black feet. So I'm going to put the frame down on the floor on its feet. With the frame on the floor, my hands are wide apart at the top of the frame, and I'm going to start to lift the frame up. With the frame expanded, I'm now going to lock the frame by pushing the frame together at these points at the top first, on the left, below, and finally here. The frame is fully locked. Now let's lie the frame down so we can fit the channel bars. We will start by installing the small channel bars. Please note the fabric track here. This needs to line up with the fabric track on the frame. Here's the short channel bar. Here's the fabric track. Here's the fabric track in the bottom of the frame. It's important that these line up. So connect into there and connect this lug into that slot there. And the fabric track is aligned. Now we're going to fit the remaining 3 short channel bars. Always making sure the fabric track aligns. Next we need to connect the long channel bars to the frame. First we need to assemble them. They're 3 parts, they're elasticated, and they just fit together like this. And now let's connect the long channel bar at the bottom of the frame. First at the side, and then we'll come over here to the other end of the stand. And then finally, we push on where the metal studs are. Now we will repeat the process for the other 3 sides. Now we're going to turn the stand over and fit the channel bars to the back of the stand. So now we need to add the long channel bars to the back of the stand to support the rear graphic for the BackLit pop-up stand. Now we've fitted the long channel bars to the 4 sides of the back of the stand. I'm calling this the back of the stand, but it is identical to the other side. There's no difference. So we're just going to put the back graphic onto this side of the frame. Now I need to fit the stabilizer feet to the frame. So with the stabilizer feet, I need to line the black foot up with the hole in the foot. So I'm going to start at the bottom here, connect the 2, slide it in, drop down, this foot goes in the slot, and there we are, that's connected. Now remember, this is a BackLit stand. When we produce a BackLit stand, we need to fit a reflector to the back of the frame and also a reflector to the top. There's an important reason for this. If we don't fit a reflector, we lose light power from the BackLit display. So by fitting a reflector, we keep that light is reflected out through the front graphic, and it makes the graphic much brighter. So next, we're going to fit a top hat, and I have it here, and we're going to do that next. So here's a tip. When you're putting graphics into a frame, try and raise the frame off the floor. If the frame is right on the floor, it's difficult to get your hands past the frame to help you put the graphic in. So what I've done, I've got an end of a roll of gaffer tape here. I've just put that underneath the frame. I'm just going to push it in slightly, and it's just supporting the frame, and it's giving me a gap here. Next, I'm going to take my top hat, here it is, and I'm going to start to put it in like this. We're putting the top hat, we're folding back the fabric, and we're pushing it into the channel that's in the top of the top channel bar at the top of the stand, like this. So we fitted our top hat. Here's our white rear reflector. Now we need to fit that. So here's the channel on the rear of the stand. Yeah, here's our top hat. I'm going to fit the fabric into this channel. And look how much easier it is doing it from above. So we fitted the rear reflector. So now we need to lift the stand up and we can fit the lights. So here's an important point. This is the stabilizer foot. The stabilizer foot is poking out behind the stand. When we fit the lights to the frame, all of the weight will be on the front of the stand. So we need the stabilizer foot to be poking out in front. All I do is just take the weight off the frame and push the stabilizer foot to the front of the stand. I'll do this on the other side. The frame is now stable. So next we need to fit our LED curtain to the front of the frame, and that will then be behind the front graphic. So here is an LED curtain, and this is for one quadrant. Now this is what we call a quadrant. So this is one frame, and you'll notice that it's got an up arrow on it, and it's got a down. So the down points down to the bottom of the frame, and the up points up. You've got these hooks. We take these hooks, and if Kevin can come in with a camera, he should be able to show you that I hook the hooks over the bars, round bars at the top. And then I come down the curtain, and I've got a hook on the bottom, and I've also got a power connection. So notice that if I hold the LED bar here, and I can pull the hook right open. So I pull it open and I hook. So you can see that the actual LED curtain is under some tension when it's fitted to the frame. So you can see we fitted all of the LED curtains to each quadrant in the stand. So we've got 9 curtains fitted here. We now will need to connect the curtains in one column. So this column here of curtains, there's 3 of them, will be connected together and will be powered by one power supply. This column here will also be connected together and will be powered by another power supply. Finally, this curtain here, its own power supply. So important, there is no electrical connection between curtains and between the columns. So Kevin, if you'd like to come in, I'm going to show how we make the connection between this middle curtain and this top curtain. So here we have the middle curtain. We've got a male plug and we've got a female plug for the top. We just push the 2 together and then we push the cable behind the curtain. So notice that this cable is behind the curtain. It's also behind the bar. That's important because otherwise you will get a shadow from this cable on the graphic. We have a power supply. We have a male connection on the end of the power supply which feeds to the LED curtain. And in this case, we've got a UK plug and an IEC lead plug here. Yeah, a kettle lead, that plugs into the back of the power supply. So we take our low voltage, these are 24 volt, so we take our low voltage cable and we push it under the frame. Kevin, can you see that coming through? Here it is, and here is the female plug on the bottom of the curtain, our male plug from the power supply. Connect the 2 together. That's how we make the connection with a power supply to the LED curtain. So we have connected now our 3 power supplies to each column of LED curtains. The power supplies are behind the frame. Next important thing is before you fit the front graphic, let's just plug them in. Let's check that the lights are working. Kevin, you stay focused on the frame. I'll go and do that. And there we are. We're happy. All of our curtains are working. All the lights are working. We've got no electrical problems, so we're comfortable to fit the graphic in the knowledge that the lights are all working. One other point. I've actually put the power supplies outside of the rear of the stand here. If you're at an exhibition and you've got limited space, you could put the power supplies into the inside of the frame as long as all of the cables stay behind the lights. Get a cable in front of the lights, you're going to shadow that on your graphic. Now, to make fitting the graphic easier, I'm going to carefully, remember we've got a bit more weight here now, I'm going to carefully tip this frame over. So, very carefully, I'm going to walk round. If there's two of you on an event, do it between two of you. Right, we've got our backlit graphic, we've laid it over the frame. I'm just going to show you how we fit one corner. Remember, we fit the top of the graphic first. If you want to see a more detailed explanation of how to fit a fabric graphic, have a look at our instructions on our non-illuminated pop-up display, fabric pop-up display stands, because I want to save time so you don't get bored. So let's just zoom in and we'll see this corner fit. So remember, if you come in, Kevin, we fold the graphic away from us and we push it into the edge of the graphic into these channels, like so. So we fitted the graphic at the top and at the bottom and in the corners, in the four corners. Now what we're going to do is we're going to lift the stand up. Remember it's heavy because you've got lights in here as well. If you need two people, use two people to do it. Make sure you're safe. So, I'm lifting the frame up. You're going to lose me for a minute. And then, last of all, I need to fit the graphic on the sides. So, like so. We've finished this off on both sides and the frame is built. So, the graphic's fully fitted. All we need to do is plug in the lights, please, Steve. And there we are, a backlit graphic on a Revolution fabric pop-up display. Just one thing, these displays work brilliantly when the graphic is a really busy image like this. We don't recommend them for flat color like a flat white or a flat gray. This is an economy solution at producing an illuminated, a backlit display. And it works best with a really busy graphic like this. We think they're stunning. Thank you.